Since I was young, I had a dream to get 100 bands. So much money that it can't fit in a rubber band. I was on the bottom, now I got the upper hand.
What's good, y'all?
Welcome back to our channel. MK.
I'm Brandon.
Equals
Brandon. Yeah.
So we're reacting to the Butterfly Effect that started hip hop's biggest beef by Luisa.
Shout out to him.
This dropped a day ago, so yeah. So we're gonna see what you can talk about, but before this video, like, comment, and subscribe.
Go ahead and do that. Catch these vibes.
Subscribe to catch these vibes, and go to our Patreon. Click the link down below. Don't be a hoe. We got a few things up there. You can be a $5. You can be a member and pay $5 or account.
Or for free, yo.
Yeah, satisfy you will satisfy us. Okay, do whatever satisfy you, satisfy us. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Nothing major. We got a few videos that's up right now on the channel. So yeah,
Sure, go tune in.
Yeah, tap into it. So screen record starts right now.
See what he talking about.
It only takes one wrong move to reap massive consequences, even when little decisions seem insignificant. This is the idea behind the butterfly effect. The theory states that something as simple as a butterfly flapping its wings,
Butterfly Effect, good movie, go watch it.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
causing massive earthquakes somewhere else in the world. This is seen in the world of hip-hop too, where in seconds, the industry can churn on a dime and generate a sea of chaos from one small choice. All this to say, rap's greatest beef in the 21st century, that between Kendrick Lamar and Drake, can be traced back to nothing more than a little dispute, which we'll be talking about today. My name is Luesta, and this is how one tiny mistake started rap's most infamous beef. Let's set our sights on the very beginning, 2002, when both artists were just rap-obsessed teens, and their feud started with a track from before they even began making music. Cash Money Records and the Neptunes' Star Track dominated the early 2000s as some of the most exciting artist-owned labels in the world. In the case of Birdman's New Orleans-based organization, they were selling millions of records thanks to artists like Juvenile, The Big Timers, and a young rapper by the name of Lil Wayne. Weezy was on the brink of breakthrough with his album 500 Degrees, and over time would become a major piece of the beef we'll dissect in this video. Meanwhile, Pharrell and Chad Hugo were transforming hip-hop at Star Track, the home of a group known as Clips, which included Pushe T and Malice, with sounds that were in high demand. With two buzzing record labels dominating the young game, it was no surprise that Birdman and the Clips' collab on What Happened to That Boy in 2002 had the streets live.
What happened to that boy?
What happened to that boy? What happened to that boy? And while that excitement lasted for fans, some financial shadiness surfaced when Stunna didn't pay Skateboard P for the iconic beat, sprouting a label beef that would last decades.
There was a non-payment at this point. And if you look back, Pharrell never worked with a Cash Money artist after this moment.
There's never been a Drake-Pharrell collab in any way, huh?
I couldn't find one unless I missed one.
In light of the song's effect,
Yeah, you think about it, kind of ain't one.
Yeah, it's not. I don't know, it's crazy. Birdman really finessed. I don't know, it's like Birdman finessed everybody. It feels like. And so, like, the main reason why we probably would never get a Pharrell produced Drake song is because Birdman finessed them. That's crazy.
in light of the song's effect on today's events, fans wonder if Birdman could have prevented history by simply cutting P a check. Instead, a generational feud would tear a rift into rap as we know it today. Some have even compared the track's lore to the Gavrilo Princip Franz Ferdinand shooting, which is the murder that sparked the Second World War. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Back to the beef.
When you think about it though, what do Bird like? Just take away like business wise. Like, it's like, what does he even do anyway? All you see him is just pop up in fucking videos.
Yeah.
Like, what does he even do?
I mean,
I guess like business wise.
yeah,
like,
business wise, he knows what he be doing behind the scenes.
finessing.
Pretty much.
But that's what I mean, like just taking out. It's like, nigga, what do you like? How did you even get into music for real? I don't know. It's just like, when you think about it, like when people just pop up in music videos, like they always in music videos, you see them all the time. I just feel like they really don't be doing shit for real.
Yeah. And me personally, yeah.
I mean, he know how to whatever.
I'll say like they all got like a reason why they like there, but
it's just like, why are you here?
For me personally, if I ever see Birdman like on like a song as like a feature, I'm usually skipping this verse.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, what did?
I don't know.
Like, you don't rap. Like, what do you do? Like, I don't know. Sometimes you gotta question these people. Sometimes it's like, what do you do
for real?
Refused to pay up, it drove a wedge between Pharrell's camp and Cash Money, one that stretched far beyond music. Even when Pharrell moved into the fashion industry with his Billionaire Boys Club, Weezy was unable to get a care package and was even ignored when his request went directly to P.
I'm told behind the scenes, Lil Wayne used to ask for Billionaire Boys Club gear and was told no. And went and wore it in a video anyway, and they was like, yo, we told you basically not to wear our stuff, and there was like an issue.
So Pharrell held on to the fact that he never got paid.
I'm told.
Which, by the way, he delivered a huge hit here, so you would understand why.
Yeah, I don't know if he got paid half in advance, didn't get the back end, you know how those scenarios work. But anyway, I wanted to point that out because it's important.
As petty as it may seem, fashion is always intertwined with hip-hop. And in this rivalry, it would play a major role in setting the scene for Drake to make poor decisions of his own. But before we get there, another instance of Lil Wayne inciting wardrobe warfare came after he wore a Bape hoodie on the cover of Vibe in 2006. You see, this is kind of important because Pharrell and the Clips were pioneers in the brand's popularization. So they took Wayne's move as disrespect and began sending subliminals, like this Pusha verse on Mic Check.
4 years later, admiring the shoes. Baby, you're late, we call you Tokyo buffoon.
But the major escalation is found on the track Mr. Me Too, the lead single from Clips' second record, Hell Hath No Fury, that accused Weezy and the Cash Money crew of jacking their style.
Wanna know the time, better clock us. Despite the style from the shoes to the watches.
Their digs were pretty direct, and it didn't take long for Weezy to respond later that year in a Complex interview where he went off in a fit of rage. He claimed that the Star Trek boys needed What Happened to That Boy to make a name for themselves, and demanded that Bape wasn't cool until he wore it. Pretty bold stuff. This public
I ain't gonna lie, me personally as a kid, I saw Lil Wayne wearing Bape, he made me want to wear Bape. So
I ain't gonna lie.
But I mean, I'm not taking away nothing from like Pharrell and them, because I mean, they like icons too when it comes to fashion, so. But that's just me. But y'all can comment down below, who made y'all want to like wear Bape or try to get Bape? Was it Wayne or was it Pharrell / Clips?
Cemented the disdain between the two rap crews, who would forever be at odds. But Pusha's brother Malice claims to this day that Mr. Me Too was never meant to diss Weezy.
I can tell you unequivocally, Mr. Me Too was not about Lil Wayne. At least to my knowledge, I've never heard that.
Okay. So this was just a rumor that was.
I'm talking about internally. Like, you're not even that lame to, you know, talk about somebody and not say your name. You know what I'm saying? So, absolutely not. Before that, you know, I thought everything was cool. You know, us and Baby and, you know, we had went out to New Orleans and shot What Happened to That Boy. Then something happened, the cameraman messed up the footage, so we went back out because, you know, it was just on the cool. So it was, you know, never any problems with them.
This isn't the only alternative viewpoint to the situation either. And if you ask Cash Money's former artist Currency, the whole Bape ordeal was a complete misunderstanding on both sides.
I always say Wayne caught a bad bag with the Clips about that. Pusha T was all pissed at him for Bape, and it's like, I showed the homie Bape, he didn't take that from y'all. I was like, yo, he thought I had Converse on in the studio. And I was like, no, and showed him on the computer what they were. Then he proceeded to flex a Lil Wayne wallet and buy the whole website on me. But, you know, it's all good.
Unfortunately, platforms like Say Cheese weren't around at the time for rappers to break these things down. So the rumor mill would instead cause the beef to reach a boiling point. And after that interview, Pusha and Malice stayed on Weezy's neck in their own exchanges. For example, when they were asked about Wayne's self-proclamation as the greatest living rapper, they had some choice words. They accused Tunechi of kissing men, stealing swag, copying Jay-Z, dressing like cult leader Jim Jones, and much more accusations that came with a lot of weight. And while the beef may have simmered after this exchange, it wouldn't be long before the flames erupted once again at the hand of the Neptunes fanboy, who signed with Cash Money Records. But not before copping an autographed mic to pretend he was Pusha T in the mirror.
Hold on. Before they go to this, I ain't gonna lie, man. Like, I don't care about Lil Wayne taking people's style, but I'm like, dude, Lil Wayne, how about you take someone else's style now? Because, bro, whatever you be wearing, bro, it be looking crazy.
Yeah.
He be wearing some bullshit, bro. But
Clearly do.
I just had to say that.
For like autograph stuff from Clips, because I was like a really, really big Clips fan. Some search words led me to this guy in Virginia that a microphone that Pushe T used during the show. It was like plastic, but it had his autograph on it. I used to pretend I was doing interviews on the red carpet and perform all the Clip songs in my basement with the mic. At the time, it meant the world to me.
Aubrey Graham signed to Young Money in 2009 after making waves in the underground with some critically acclaimed mixtapes, and was only a few steps away from becoming the household name that we all know today as Drake. While inking with the NOLA label, there was no clause indicating inheritance of his rivalries, but he still took it upon himself to stand on the label's business, which would become an error that he would never be able to rewrite. But until this L emerged from the shadows, the former Degrassi child star experienced one of hip-hop's fastest booms into stardom, thanks to projects like So Far Gone, Take Care, and others. Meanwhile, Pusha T followed Clips into hiatus, and would even sign over with Kanye West at Good Music. Despite the new label, his bad blood with Cash Money hadn't gone anywhere. This probably fuels his return on the track Don't Fuck With Me, where he jacked the beat from Drake's Dreams Money Can Buy, and took some clear shot at Cash Money's newest stars.
Rappers on these sophomores acting like they boss lords. Fame's such a funny thing for sure. When start believing all them encores.
At the time, Drake seemed to take Pusha's advice and didn't reply. But when he didn't get a response, Pusha kept applying pressure to the Cash crew on 2012's Exodus.
You signed a one nigga that signed a...
God damn.
Another nigga that signed a three nigga. Now that's bad luck.
Here, Pusha takes a jab at Drake for only getting a small percentage of the money he was making. And if that line rings a bell, it's cause Kendrick borrowed it all these years later on the song Euphoria.
You was signed to a nigga that signed to a nigga that said he was signed to that nigga.
Before he could defend himself, his protege stepped in on Twitter, keeping things simple and direct. Pusha T and anyone that loves him. And soon after, he followed this tweet up with a song called Goalish, a diss track that started with the same line. But Pusha T was not impressed with this attempt at his head, to say the least.
When you heard, what was your opinion of Wayne's response?
It was horrible. It was horrible. It was trash. It wasn't great. Yeah, it wasn't good. Like, in all honesty, man, I haven't said anything about it because I didn't think it was like good enough to respond to.
It was from this moment on that fans were absolutely itching for a head-to-head between the rising star Drake and the Clips legend Pusha T, with everyone taking their bets on how it would play out. As we know now, we would eventually get what we were hoping for, but not just yet. A lot went into building up to the Story of Adidon, one of the most
infamous diss track.
Man, craziest diss tracks of all time.
Let that boy come home.
Bruh. What happened to that boy?
To building up to the Story of Adidon, one of the most infamous diss tracks in hip-hop history. First, Drake formally entered the battle with Tuscan Leather on 2013's Nothing Was the Same, where he stood up for Weezy and warned Pusha not to take things further.
I'm just as famous as my mentor, but there's still a boss, don't get sent for. You're hype on tracks and jump in front of a bullet you wasn't meant for.
Of course, this merited a response from Push on the track Suicide, where he let Drake know that his issues with Wayne came first, but that he'd happily take on anyone associated with the label.
I can't see the scenes that you mirror in your idol, but a pawn's only purpose is completely suicide.
It seemed like Pusha would have the last laugh here as the beef went cold until 2016, when a few more lines from the Clips member dropped only a...
I already know we will never get this album, but I ain't gonna lie, if we ever got a Pusha T, Kendrick diss battle, bro, man, I ain't gonna lie, that would break everything. I ain't gonna lie, that would shut down the whole internet.
For real.
But it's never gonna happen. So
yeah, they locked in.
Yeah, they locked in for real. And they both share the same hatred towards Drake. So yeah.
Right.
A couple months after Drake's heated beef with Meek Mill, that exchange brought Drake's ghostwriting allegations to light, and Push decided to give his thoughts on rappers who don't craft their own rhymes on HD TV Freestyle.
It's too far gone when the realest ain't real. I walk amongst the clouds so your ceilings ain't real. These Call it duty cause they feelings ain't real.
Feeling hot after washing Meek, it didn't take long for Drake to respond with 2 birds, 1 stone, which featured his most direct hits at Pusha yet. He called T a fake gangster who lied about drug dealing, and called him the middleman in this entire situation. Honestly, it seems like Drake is the true middleman here, but we'll let that slide. At this point, one thing was for certain.
So the one thing Drake always brings up, he brought it up with Pusha T and Kendrick. He always keeps trying to say like they like fake gangsters, like they not from the streets and all that shit. I'm like, bro,
don't that sound racist?
Like, bro, you like the last dude who should be saying that about anybody.
Like, don't that shit sound a little racist? Yeah. Like, why you assuming these? Like, what if they wasn't gangsters?
That's what they be rapping about, though.
I know, but just say like, for instance, they wasn't rapping about it, or just didn't at all. Like what he said in the first place.
Probably not.
Ow. I don't know. He's so weird. Drake.
Yeah. This little picture of him right here just sums it up.
Look at him.
Look at his lip.
He look like a white man. Like a typical, I don't know.
White boy.
Yeah. Rick Ross said it best.
Of that Pusha T fanboy and Drake had vanished, and a 14-year-old feud between Cash Money and Star Trek had boiled to this exact moment. Drake and Pusha were on a collision course, which would not only unfold a major revelation, but played an instrumental role to Kendrick's master plan of taking down BBL Drizzy. If only Bird paid up all those years ago. The end game of the Pusha T and Drake beef all started on Pusha's Ye-produced track, Infrared, where he brought back the ghostwriting allegations with a simple line. It was written from Nas, but it came from Quentin. That same day, Drake pulled up Meet the Grams with his Duppy freestyle, where he revealed that Kanye had employed his services for ghostwriting during the Wyoming album stretch, saying, "Father had to stretch his hands out and get it for me." What most people don't know is that this included Pusha's own Daytona album, but we'll never know if Drake actually wrote for that one. Regardless, he had plenty of words for Push.
Must have had your infrared wrong, now your head in a beam. Y'all let it spit an image of whatever jealousy breeds. Don't push me when I'm in album mode.
Somebody piss Drake off while he is in album mode.
Pusha T, did you see this coming? Did you plan for this?
The track was littered with typical rap beef scolds, but Drizzy may have crossed the line where he brought family into the mix. Upon mention of Push's fiancée, Virginia Williams, T was free to get the gloves off. Somehow, Drake never learned his lesson here, and as we've seen in his beef with Kendrick, when you bring family into the mix, prepare for things to get messy. But we all know what happened next. The Story of Adidon drops, with Pusha not only outing Drake's past of wearing blackface while discussing his biracial identity, but also revealing that Drake had a son that he hadn't yet made public.
Let me keep with the facts. You are hiding a child. Let that boy come home. Deadbeat motherfucker playing border patrol. Ooh.
What the? This nigga called Drake.
Right, it's crazy.
How old that was? That nigga, No Life Shaq. He
yeah,
had
that's
dreads
crazy. He's been around for a minute, man. Shout out to him.
Right, like.
But it's crazy. I just remember the time when all this shit was happening. Like, Pusha T came out with Drake going blackface and exposing him having like a kid. Like, bro, that shit was just so crazy. That was such a wild time.
I feel like that really kind of set the tone about Drake.
Yeah, that's when a lot of people really started to look at Drake mad weird. That's back in we was in high school when this shit happened. Yeah. I want to say 2017, maybe 2016, around there. But yeah, this shit was so wild, bro.
Yeah, I think this will set the tone about Drake.
You know, has Drake ever even addressed this whole blackface thing?
No.
I don't think he did, but y'all can comment down below if y'all know, but because I'm not remembering.
That's why I don't like how because
I do know this was like a Hollywood thing. It was like something he had to do for some weird Hollywood shit, but
right, because I just don't like how a lot of people was excusing this a lot.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, he really mocking black people. Bro.
Yeah.
I don't understand why y'all keep excusing shit.
Even if he not, bro, whatever white person told him to do this, he fucking listened. So I'm like,
yeah, that's why I'm like, he's not us. He's not like us.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, he's just not like.
It's crazy, bro.
And it's also what's crazy about it is the people that are fans of Drake that are black, and you're excusing this man a lot.
Yeah.
It says a lot about you as a character. That's why I also don't really not fucking with Drake because he did this shit.
Yeah,
he did this. Like, come on now. Like, that's why I don't like Drake at all. I don't fuck with him at all, and that's one of the reasons why. Like, why would I fuck with somebody who's mocking our own race? Like, be for real.
It's crazy.
I don't play that shit. I don't care how like
iconic he is or whatever.
No, I wasn't going for that. I was just saying, like, I don't care like how, like, I know how black people we can be, but that's our business. I don't like. Why are you mocking us anyway? Like,
especially when you are black.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I'm saying. It's weird, like he just mad because black people couldn't accept him. That's why he.
And the white people don't accept him either.
Exactly. So he's just making fun of anything about it. But it still doesn't excuse it. But that's why I'm like, that's why I'm saying, y'all really fuck with this right here? Really? That says a lot about your character.
What the? This nigga called Drake a deadbeat in the same minute I found out he had a baby.
To say that this line did critical damage would be an understatement. Not only did it sink Drake's plan to unveil his son as part of an Adidas campaign, it effectively ended his partnership with them. The worst blow would ultimately be that the world now saw him as a terrible father. You would think unveiling your kid for a brand deal would have the same effect though. Lose-lose situation for real.
Who rolled out that child with a sweatsuit? Like, get out of here. What are you doing?
I didn't understand that line.
Explain that Adidas situation.
See, the Adidas situation is this. The child, allegedly, his new line on Adidas is called Adidon, which is named after Adonis, his son. But we couldn't know about your child until you start selling sweatsuits and sneakers.
Fans were quick to point out how vicious this comeback was all over the internet, and he still never lived this one down, honestly. Pusha T continued to break down his process and methods of the diss in several interviews, calling Drizzy out for his broken father-son relationship, his silence on black issues, and much, much more.
Now I gotta dig deeper into who the person is. Now I gotta dig in and see, what are y'all like? What's your family like? Oh, your dad left you at 5. Oh, I get that. He never walked you to the bus stop. You're mad about this. You parade your dad around in these weird suits. Parade him. It's clown-like. I get clown feelings from that. You are silent in all black issues. Yeah. I don't hear about anything. You have all the platform in the world. You were so passionate back then. No, you weren't.
Pusha was also the first to point out the holes in Drake's circle. Many people assumed Kanye was the whistleblower on Adonis, but Pusha claims it was none other than Drake's right-hand man and producer.
Right, he right, because he wasn't passionate about it. He has a fetish about it.
Yeah.
Because he wanted to be involved. So bad.
That's just like some little kid shit. You know, like as a kid,
you fantasize all that shit.
Yeah, as a kid, like every day or like every week, like you always fantasize about something new, and so that's what Drake was basically doing.
So that's one way. Everything that Pusha T is saying is right.
Yeah, Pusha T, man.
I like the way
Super
he moves.
strategic,
I like
man.
that kind of
Super
move.
strategic.
Like I like those type of interviews. Like he's saying, like, oh.
So your dad left you at 5. Okay,
like that's what I would do too. Because as a person, if you coming at me, I'm gonna come at you harder. Like, and I'm not gonna stop doing it because I never once bothered you or never once disrespected you. So the fact you want to do it to me, I'm gonna do it to you, even more worse. So that's why I'm like, that's why I like that kind of energy. It's like, okay, I'm finna go to your family tree. Honestly, I gotta see what's wrong with you.
And that's what bothered me with Drake versus Kendrick. Like on the Heart Part 6, Drake, he was talking about like saying like I'm like a war general and like all this other stuff. Basically saying like basically saying like he's like a veteran when it comes to making like these diss tracks. So I'm like, bro, if that's the case, bro, you would have been like way more like strategic on like how you was doing stuff. But
he's not at all. He wish.
But hey.
What it should be. 40 is sleeping with a woman. He talks to her daily, 5-6 hours a day. Ultimately speaks about how he's disgruntled about certain things. With that also came the fact that Drake has a child. With that also came the trip that everybody took to go see the child and bring them gifts and all of this information. She divulged this information.
This would ultimately be the model of investigation that Kendrick Lamar would also emulate in 2024, even taking it a bit further by anticipating Drake's moves.
Oh, so she's the model. I'm just like, Oh, she's the
Well, they
mole.
said that back then while the show was happening, yeah.
I'm just playing. She still is the mole.
That'd be crazy.
I don't know. She just probably spilled that. That was pretty much it.
She did. Pillow talk, you know.
Yeah.
Based on past beefs, and people still can't believe that history has repeated itself, hinting towards Kendrick's claims that someone in his camp was working for him. The point is, the story of Adidon was a blow from which Drake couldn't recover. He had no choice but to concede to this L he had taken.
I tip my hat to the chess move. I mean, it was a genius play in the game of chess. And definitely, you know.
Damn ads.
I tip my hat to the chess move. I mean, it was a genius play in the game of chess, and definitely, you know, warranted my first loss in the competitive sport of rapping. By choice, obviously, because I bowed out after realizing, like, the gap between us allowed him to drop a bomb on the world that really became, that was all anyone cared about.
Like what we saw on the Hard Part 6, he tried to move on.
I wonder if Drake gonna do this type of interview again talking about Kendrick. I hope he does. I mean, I'm pretty sure he will. He just letting the time, let time pass everyone.
And even claimed Jay Prince stopped him from dropping another disc because it was supposedly going too far.
What I think is where they think that you went too far.
I don't care.
I
don't care. There is no too far. I don't play like that. That's why you don't play with me.
Right.
There is no too far.
Right.
It's not. Forever.
Is there any
Leave
time?
me alone. Leave me be, because there's no too far.
Right.
That's how it goes.
You felt like you went too far?
Who, me? There's no too far. Absolutely. Promise you. And anybody who ever told me that I went too far, I never spoke to him again.
However, it hasn't stopped him from throwing subliminals. Speaking of which, Pusha still relishes these subs to this day, saying that it lets him know how deeply he hurt Drake in their beef. It would be a while before Kendrick would utilize all of this weaponry laid out by Pusha, as it wasn't quite his churn. Despite working together on Nostalgia, the two weren't all that close. However, it was his ties to another Star Trek boy that would fuel Kendrick's desire to take down Drake once and for all. Although he still had no love for Cash Money, Pharrell always insisted he wasn't in favor of what happened between Pusha and Drake.
Pusha didn't tell me because he knows I would have, stood in front of him as much as I could. But he's a different kind of person. He's a Taurus. You know what I'm saying? And when you feel like a line is crossed and you take off the gloves, that's just where your brain is at. You know what I'm saying?
Touching on the roots of their beef with the what happened to that boy, Pharrell said he wished none of that would have happened because he would have liked to have seen them all work together. He even dropped a shocker by leaking the respect that Pusha has for Drake behind the curtains.
It still breaks my heart to this day because I would have loved to have heard those guys on a song together or heard a joint project together. I would have loved to have seen that. By the way, Pusha says Drake got bars. When Drake makes something that's amazing, we talk about it all the time when something's up. It's amazing.
Known as one of the most level-headed hip-hop personnel, Pharrell seemed eager to keep the peace. But he'd later learned that he should have been in Pusha's corner after all. In 2022, it was revealed that Drake had copped some of Pharrell's most iconic chains, even rocking them in music videos in what seemed like a respectful homage. But all of that was thrown out the window the following year when he admitted to destroying the legendary pieces on Travis Scott's Meltdown.
I melt down the chains that I bought from your boss, give a fuck about all of that heritage.
Drake even took shots at his new position as the creative head at Louis Vuitton, stating his refusal to wear the brand after Virgil's passing. Letting off what seemed like an unprovoked attack at Pharrell, it seemed like Drake's issues came with Pusha T appearing in Pharrell's first Louis show. In taking shots at Pharrell, Drake dissed a real legend and pioneer in the game. Because of P's status, it was a move that even Drake fans didn't appreciate. But more devastatingly, he gave Kendrick Lamar even more reason to start the problem that he'd been itching to for years now. Because if you don't know, Skateboard P has been a mentor to K-Dot since the Section 80 days.
All that jazz that y'all have in your music, that's the and do not. Who's the producers?
From you, let me alone.
A working relationship that has led to tracks like Good Kid, Mr. Morale, and Alright. Pharrell has always been quick to give K-Dot his flowers.
Kendrick is one of the greatest writers of our time. And he's a great writer because he knows how to be very disciplined with a subject matter. He knows that stickiness is important. And he knows that
it has to feel great.
It's unclear if Drake's verse on Meltdown was the last straw, or simply one of the many factors gradually fueling his disdain for the Six God, but he directly references the Pharrell dissing on Euphoria.
I don't like you popping that Pharrell for you. My hair is the beef. You all that Pushe P. Let me see you Pushe T.
Not gonna lie, that line was kinda hard. And he's not only referencing two legends who both had bad blood with Cash Money over the What Happened to That Boy, but straight up says that he's inheriting the beef. This is all the proof we need to confirm that this beef is the domino effect of that small mistake. A buildup of multiple decades worth of turmoil, diss tracks, and bad blood. Like Pusha and Wayne all those years ago, the same sides continued to send new soldiers into the battle, all over a financial wronging. Only the ammunition has evolved from fashion to federal crimes. Above all, this situation just goes on to show that much of what happens in rap can be traced back and connected to the genre's earliest days. Now, we just have to wait and see what comes next.
Good video.
Good video, man, y'all.
Yeah, it's crazy because yeah, it's crazy. All this shit really happened with Birdman just not paying Pharrell. That's pretty wild. It came along.
Yeah. So this shit really was like built up for
real.
Like growing up and shit like that. And then Drake just get in the middle because he was trying
to stick up for Lil Wayne, and
Wayne had nothing. We should just stay out of it.
Yeah.
He was trying to be involved because he's not usually involved in things.
I mean, I get why he did it because I mean, Lil Wayne, like his big homie, put him on and everything. He probably felt like he had to do something when in reality you didn't have to do anything.
He didn't.
Like Lil Wayne, he a grown ass man. He can handle his own battles, but because we didn't see Lil Wayne jump into none of Drake's battles with Pusha T or Kendrick. So I'm like, what was it? Or Meek Mill at that. So like, what was the point?
That's why they say he a lame ass nigga for that. Because first of all, he's like Drake. I'm telling you, like just like how these, you know, the rich white folks try to, you know, be fetish about the whole shit like that. That's what Drake kind of did. He saw it, he said, "Bet I want to get in there."
Right.
Just to be involved.
I gotta be involved. Like, yeah, that's wild.
That's why. That's why he getting this now.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You lame as fuck for that.
That's crazy. But yeah, y'all can comment down below what y'all think. Shout out to Luista. Hopefully I'm saying the name right. But shout out to him. Another good video. Comment down below what y'all think.
Comment down below. Click the link down below. Be a hoe.
Don't be a hoe, for real. Go to Patreon. Hit that subscribe button. Catch these vibes.
Subscribe to catch these vibes.
You already know. And yeah, we out.
Ride me like a lamb. She thinks she fuck with me, so she gon' try to leave a man. But she blew me in the past, so she blew her chance. I told her if she come over, better bring a friend. Bitch, I only fuck with 10s.